Now, the Office of the Auditor-General has flagged Enoch Mgijima local municipality in the Eastern Cape as one of the worst-run councils in South Africa. The AG's office notes that the municipality has failed to collect more than 1.3 billion rand debt owed by a household. It also reveals that the council's total current liabilities far exceed total current assets by 984 million rands. For more on that conversation, we're joined now by the Enoch Mgijima local municipality mayor, Madoda Papiyana. Mayor, good evening, and thank you very much for coming on this evening. The Auditor-General flagging your municipality as the worst run. I've outlined there your liabilities far exceeding your assets, failure to collect revenue. What is going wrong there? What are you not doing that you're supposed to be doing?
Good evening, Mr. Mdluli and your viewers. Let me first by saying, Mr. Mdluli, the history of Enoch Mgijima, you remember, 3 municipalities were merged, which is the former Nkwanza, former Lukanji, and former Tsolwana. When that process was done, that process was not done such that it can make the Enoch Mgijima, who is the entity that was formed, to run very, very smoothly. You'll remember, when you are amalgamating municipalities, firstly, when you are amalgamating them, you look at the municipality who is having a bigger grading. In this case, it was Lukanji. Lukanji municipality, by the time this Enoch Mgijima was formed, it was a grade 6 municipality. But unfortunately, when Lukanji was not granted that particular status, those that were given the responsibility to make sure that those particular challenges are dealt with properly did not do their job properly. Hence, we find ourselves sometimes facing with kind of challenges of finances of that municipality. But as we speak, Mr. Mdluli, looking at, remember, I was given this responsibility as the mayor of Enoch Mgijima on December last year. I was finishing a year as a mayor. There are many great things that particular municipality have achieved, of which, when we're dealing with the AG and the committee in its entirety, we have put them into a understanding of the good things that we're doing.
So let's talk about the good things. So you're saying it's been a year there, which means that you came in just after the revelation of the stadium, or maybe during that time. What did you do? Because one of the things there was that there was complete disregard, a careless attitude, one would say, towards the spending of public funds, where a cost of 15 million, whooping 15 million, said to spend on a stadium that hardly had ablution facilities. It literally had a stand and grass, and that's all was happening. What did you do to turn that story around?
No, thank you very much, Mr. Mdluli, for that particular question. Remember, when that particular issue was really on news, during that time I was not even in the institution, but when I came in the institution, I did investigation. What I discovered was that COGTA, SIU were dealing with the challenge of that stadium. The reports that are in front of us, as we speak, there is nothing that they have found that was done very wrongly in that particular project of sport field. It's not a stadium. Let me correct this. It's not a stadium, it's a sporting field. But the area where this particular sport field that was built, it is an area where, if I was the mayor during that time, I was going to recommend another area, because a lot of money in that particular project was spent on earthworks in order for them to get levels and so on and so forth. I was going to recommend them to do this particular project in another area, but unfortunately, during that particular time, I was not a mayor of that particular municipality. That's exactly what happened at Thabo.
Yeah.
You see, because when you are doing a project of that particular nature, you look at the area where this project can be done properly without all of these kind of challenges that are being raised, because the money was really spent on earthworks.
Yeah. You're currently under intervention, Section 139, subsection 7 of the Constitution, after previous instances where provinces actually tried to come and intervene and become unsuccessful. Why are we still seeing a lack of compliance with the financial laws, the MFMA regulations? Why are we still seeing a lack of reliable record keeping? There's something fundamental like that where this information can be obtained.
No, let me clarify just few things on this aspect that you are dealing with. Remember, when you are auditing a municipality, there are 5 aspects in terms of findings of the AG. The first aspect, when the municipality is in disclaimer, what does that mean, Thabo? Is that really in this particular municipality, it is unable even to audit the financials of that particular municipality. You see, after that, the second aspect, it's becoming a adverse. What does that mean, Thabo? Yes, there are documents, but here and there are still challenges. Enoch Mgijima, in terms of audit outcomes, it was in qualification. After qualification, a qualification, it means there are sufficient documents. There are areas where, as an auditor, you are satisfied. But there are also areas where you need more clarity on those particular aspects. The other, after qualification, it then becomes unqualified. Unqualified, what does that mean? It means you are nearer or closer to clean audit.
Yeah.
The Enoch Mgijima municipality, amongst the municipalities that are in the country, is at unqualified.
That's not what the Office of the Auditor-General says. It says you are qualified audit opinion over the past 3 years. That's where you're sitting.
Yes. What does that mean? Go and look at what I'm saying.
It means you lack compliance. It means you do not comply with the financial laws. It means you lack reliable performance information. It means your financial statements are very poor. For example, right? You can't even identify indigents, which means that there are people who are getting free services in error or by criminality, because your indigent program is it tatters.
Look, Thabo, what we have did, because remember, when there is an opinion, remember this audit, it was out before I became a mayor of Enoch Mgijima. The audit that I'm going to be really accountable of is this audit of this current financial year. What we did, Thabo, we did what is called a audit action plan, where because the report that was presented by AG, it's a 2022-2023.
Yes.
Now, what you do when there is that report, you do a audit action plan. You identify all those particular challenges that are raised by the Auditor-General. Then you make a plan to deal with those particular challenges that are raised by the AG.
Yeah.
Yes, Thabo.
Yeah.
Look, moreover, or over and above what the AG, for the first time, Thabo, I have an experience of 17 years in local government. I never saw when a report is presented by the Auditor-General, there are pictures. It was for the first time. You can look at whatever where municipalities in this country. It was for the first time, because remember, the audit, it is as a result of every aspect that have happened in the institution, and you must then come up with proofs.
Yeah.
Those pictures are even raised in the committee. Those pictures that were there, flouted by AG, were pictures of others were of 2018, others of 2019, and so on.
Yeah.
I tried to clarify those particular issues, because this audit that was presented there, it is the audit that we are having a action plan of dealing with those challenges that were raised.
So where is that financial recovery action plan? Because part of what was presented, I know you're saying it's 2022, 2023 years, but there was also 2023, 2024 financial statements that were presented. And this is what the Auditor-General says. Even COGTA says that the municipality is continuing to adopt unfunded budgets. That means it's you now.
Look,
you can't blame your predecessor. It's now you.
No. Listen, Thabo. Look, what was the result of budget that was not funded? Was the ESCOM bill.
Yes.
The ESCOM bill, you'll remember, all the municipalities, not all the municipalities were qualifying for the debt relief.
Yeah.
Enoch Mgijima is amongst the municipalities that have qualified for debt relief.
Yes.
Now, Thabo, after we were granted that opportunity of grant relief, you can ask ESCOM to date, we are paying our monthly installments of ESCOM. We are not behind. We do have letters of appreciation that is coming from ESCOM. There are very good relations between us. Actually, what ESCOM is saying, in amongst the municipalities that were granted that relief, we are the number one in terms of paying.
Yeah, but you are heavily reliant on that grant funding. That's what the Auditor-General says. You are heavily. The fact is that you are not collecting, poor revenue collection, so you are heavily reliant on that grant.
Thabo, if you have read our mid-term report, our mid-term report is clear. Remember, when the municipality is dysfunctional, what does that mean? It means that particular municipality is unable to pay salaries.
Yes.
That particular municipality is unable to deliver services to its own people. Yes. How do you judge that?
I'm glad, Mayor, you're bringing that up, because that's exactly what the Auditor-General says.
Yes.
He says that your continued reliance on this thing of the grant is going to lead and plunge the municipality into a financial crisis where you are not going to be able to pay salaries.
Listen, Thabo. Because when you are cleansing your data, which is your indigent register, because when you are billing because what I discovered immediately when I arrived there was that about 75% of the communities of Enoch Mgijima are not indigent. It's not true. What we did our work working with COGTA to say, let us make sure that we go to house ourselves, COGTA and Chrisan. We are dealing with issues of indigent, so that when we are billing our citizens, we are billing them correctly.
So
because let me tell you, more than 60% of actually 70% of communities of Enoch Mgijima are living under 3,000. What does that mean? It means, Thabo, those people are indigent. There must be a support that comes from government in terms of electricity and so on. Yeah. Now, the community, even those that are not supposed to tamper with electricity at Enoch Mgijima, they have tampered with the electricity. Remember, the challenge that is all the country is facing is the electricity tampering.
Yeah.
It's not the only Enoch Mgijima, but we are doing something as Enoch Mgijima.
Yeah. All right. Mayor, I want you to explain that, because you tried to explain this to the committee as well. Didn't quite take in the committee. I don't think it takes now. But stay with us, because I need to take.
The committee have accepted that.
No, the committee have accepted the Auditor General's report. They say you must not in any way try and hoodwink us and create an impression that the AG's report is not accepted. Things that were said by the Auditor General have been accepted by the portfolio committee. Let me take a break. Stay with us, Mayor. I'll come back in a moment. Still to come. We'll continue our focus with the Enoch Mgijima Municipality Mayor. Stay with us. Joining us now is a member of Action SA in the Eastern Cape, the provincial chairperson of the party, Auditor-General. Mayor, you were explaining to me the reason why you're having issues with your Eskom electricity bill, the debt there. And you're saying part of it is illegal connection, right? And as the new mayor and as the new administration, what is it that you have done to improve in that particular area? Because the Auditor General's report says there is no material progress in addressing any of the root causes that have led to this qualified audit. No, thanks, Tabo. Hence, I was saying, in our audit action plan, there is what is called smart metering. Now, what we did in working with Eskom now is coming closer. We have a agreement with Eskom of trying to make sure that we put smart meters so that we deal with these issues, with this issue of tampering. Remember, it's not only the communities that are tampering with the electricity. Even very big business people are tampering with the electricity. Hence, we have a team that goes to each and every household and every business to cut the electricity to those that are not paying. So there is something that is being done by the municipality in trying to deal with this particular issue. We are able as an institution to see the progress. Hence, because the audit now is in action of this financial year. Yes.
Before the end of the year, the audit will be out.
Let me tell you one
total different story as to the audit, as the current audit.
Let me give you one thing in particular that the Auditor General says, which is good. He says the spending on conditional grants is good, and there is some improvement in service delivery, particularly in road maintenance and potholes. But the story that you're telling us now of household meters, she says it remains a serious concern. Yes,
remember, this is the audit report of not of this current financial year, of the last financial year. Hence, I'm saying as the mayor, we are having a audit action plan to deal with those particular issues. And the team of AG, Thabo, is inside at Enoch Mgijima in helping that institution to improve. There's a very good relations between ourselves and the Auditor-General and the Auditor-General teams that is there in trying to fix all these particular issues that Auditor-General is raising.
All right. Action SA's chairperson in the Eastern Cape, Auditor-General, joining us now. There's an audit action plan there, Auditor-General, and the report that the Auditor-General presented is a report of the previous administration. This new administration that's been in now for almost a year is turning things around there. What do you think is going on?
Well, I'm just smiling, Riley, because there's no turnaround in Enoch Mgijima. I'm listening to Mayor Papiyana telling us that, only became the mayor in December 2022. That might be the case. But his predecessors, also ANC administration, had driven the municipality of Enoch Mgijima over the fiscal cliff, so much so that in April 2022, the President placed Enoch Mgijima local municipality and Mangaung metro municipality under administration. There was an administrator, Dr. Tom, who was seconded to take care of the affairs of that municipality. I'm smiling when Mayor Papiyana says there's a good relationship between his administration and Treasury, because there certainly isn't a good relationship between, or there wasn't a good relationship between them and Mr. Tom. And the fact of the matter is, Mr. Papiyana can sit here and tell us that all's well in Enoch Mgijima, but the Minister of Finance, who tabled his budget debate today, knows that it's not well. The MEC for Cocta in the Eastern Cape knows that all is not well in Enoch Mgijima. And anyone who lives in the former Queenstown or Enoch Mgijima or Esbeleni or anywhere in that municipality knows that all is not well. I'm smiling here when the mayor says that they're going to introduce some smart metering to prevent tampering of meters. But here are the real facts. Apart from load shedding, the municipality of Enoch Mgijima subjects the citizens of their municipality to multiple hours per day of load shedding that is not Eskom related. It's due to a collapse of their own electrical infrastructure. The business community, the ratepayer community, and all the other communities of Enoch Mgijima are sick and tired of what's happening in that municipality. And I actually think that the Auditor-General's assessment of a qualification is very, very mild. I would believe that they are more closer to a disclaimer than a qualification. And you know, some ANC administrations regard a qualification as something of an accolade. A qualification means that the Auditor-General cannot provide an opinion on the financial affairs of a municipality. It's not a qualification like a degree. It is actually a qualification that says we cannot provide you with an audit opinion. A disclaimer is when the financial management is so bad that they simply cannot give you an opinion or even say that there's a qualification. I would like to ask the mayor, why was the municipality placed under administration if everything was going so well? And an audit action plan is not a new innovation of Mayor Papiyana. It's actually something that is prescribed in local government. There should be an audit action plan in any municipality that is effective and efficient.
Yeah, we'll get the mayor to respond to that in a moment. But I want you to respond to this. Salga says they are convinced that the municipality is on the correct recovery trajectory, and they are calling for the current management to be given the support to continue implementing their financial recovery plan.
Okay, well, you know what? You may be speaking to the wrong person here, because I'm very jaundiced about what's going on in that municipality, because I often go there and I often interact with families and communities that end up being flooded every single year, because the municipality will not take responsibility for people that live below the floodplain, and they will not take the responsibility of fixing municipal bulk infrastructure that's supposed to deal with stormwater and all of those kind of provisions that make life livable in a municipality. So I want to tell you, if you go to Esbeleni, travel along the roads to get to Esbeleni, or go into the community that is perennially flooded in the center of Queenstown next to a set of levees that are really badly designed, and some buildings and municipality, buildings and businesses that have been approved by the municipality that are also perennially flooded, you will get the real facts of what's happening in Enoch Mgijima. Then there's another statistic. There's a local political party that is an independent-based political party with representation out of all communities, business and local communities, that won a whole number of seats in Enoch Mgijima. It is probably one of the most effective independent organizations, and that has come about simply because of the dysfunction of that municipality. So, frankly, I know that this is an election year, and I don't believe anybody that says that Enoch Mgijima is on the path to recovery. The very same mayor who's sitting here on your program was the person who said publicly, when challenged about the state of potholes in Enoch Mgijima, he said, these aren't my potholes, they were here before I got here. So if you have that kind of attitude, nothing's going to get fixed, because whatever happened before is not his. Only what happens now is his. And you don't have the luxury of that in local government. Even if you take over a government from another political party, you are responsible for the government that you take over.
Yeah.
So I think it's about time that Mayor Papiyana takes responsibility for the state of his municipality.
Right. Mayor, two things that are coming up. Why would your municipality be placed under administration if things are rosy and going well? But two, since you are avoiding taking responsibility, for example, for things going wrong in your municipality, like flooding there in Ezbeleni.
Look, I'm just giving him the courtesy. Because this gentleman that is speaking here, he's not even having even a seat in that particular council. He has just come here listening to gossips. Gossips.
I'm listening to your gossip.
Gossips. I'm saying you are listening to gossips because the community of that particular area themselves are saying our institution now is better. These councillors that we are talking about of independent are the ones who can even tell you that this particular institution is better than before. It's them. How do you then measure that? Look, before this business community, this business forum that we are talking about, before they were even buying some cables for the municipalities when they are fault. That thing is the thing of the past. The electricity of Enoch Mgijima is stable. Stable. You see, let me tell you, these independent councillors we are talking about are the ones who took the infrastructural project of roads that was done at Ezbeleni. After I came in, I went to court. The court favored in the side of all the projects that were taken into court by the independents. All those projects are others are almost more than 70% are almost done. I'm simply saying here, this institution, the report of Kokta province, the report of Kokta of treasurer in the province, Kokta National, Salga, and Christian, all other stakeholders are saying the municipality is in the right path. Now, what Auditor-General was saying was that in the previous financial year, because remember, this is the year that we are going to be judged on this current financial year. We are doing better. We are doing very well. Go to Queenstown, Mshegas. Don't just deal with issues of Facebook. Go and look at issues of reality. That municipality is better. Look at the spending of the grants. For the first time in the past 6 to 7 years, that municipality was spending less than 17% in the year before I came in. That municipality, in terms of spending in grants, that municipality was at 5%. As we speak, in the period of 6 months, we are at 60%. We are amongst the municipalities that are qualified to be having an additional amount of grant. What does that say? What does that say? It simply says, if you are spending, remember, we are under cost reimbursement. Any invoice that is going to be paid, it goes under scrutiny.
Right.
National Treasurer is the one who will say this invoice can be paid. Now, this municipality is running very well now.
Okay, Mayor, let's leave it there. Mr. Trollip, it seems the conditional grant spend is in better shape and service delivery is improving. They're turning a corner.
No, look, I'm not going to respond to any subjective opinions of Mr. Papiyana. But what I do find really offensive...
Where he exists, it does not exist there.
Give him a chance, Mayor. Give him a chance.
What I do take exception to is Mayor Papiyana saying, Umlungu, Magangaves Tubin. I must go and watch for myself. Well, I want to tell him that in the last 6 months, I've been Egauteng, there where the people flood, who some of them have been removed, but most of them still live there, and they will be flooded again because they get flooded every single year. I've been to Isbeleni. I've traveled on the road from the Queenstown industrial area to Isbeleni that has cost tens of millions of rand, that is still not completed, that gets redone every single time because of corruption and cadre deployment and ineptitude. I would really like to challenge this mayor to tell me I haven't been to Enoch Mgijima, the park home, Kegas. I go there often because I get invited by people that are sick and tired of what's going on in your municipality. I would like to challenge Newzroom Afrika and the mayor to come back after the next audit opinion report and let's have a formal debate where we can sit down with facts and figures, not to be brought in at the tail end of him telling us a story, a fantasy story, like Cyril Ramaphosa did in the State of the Nation address, telling us about Tinswalo. Tinswalo agapili Enoch Mgijima. Tinswalo does not live that perfect life in Enoch Mgijima that this mayor and our president was telling us about. The reality on the ground is completely different to the illusion that he's spinning on this TV program. So let's come back after the next audit opinion and we'll have a proper debate, and I'll commit myself to that debate.
I appreciate your time. Mayor Papiyana, let's leave it there. Thank you very much for coming on. In Focus continues in a moment.